What is going on, guys? Up here, and we are doing something a little bit different today. Right now, we have all of these different guys from Twitter who were talking to me. They were talking about lots of different things, and I thought it would be a really interesting idea to get them all in the same place at the same time because they have really interesting ideas and they have really long conversations. So I thought I'd try this podcast thing for once. Aris isn't the only mother who can do that. So, well, there really isn't a left to right here, so you guys can go ahead and introduce yourselves as you like.
All right. My name is Courtney Emmerich. I'm from St. Louis, Missouri. But I also can go as Cosmic when I eventually do start going to tournaments. That's what my name is going to be.
Synclair West, also known as Synclair. I'm a gamer, independent R&B artist, fighting game fanatic. And I'm here in Long Beach. Yeah, I'm just here giving my input on the whole Tekken scene, everything. So that's all for me.
All right, I'm London Thorvet. Some people even mispronounce my last name, but it's all right. I come by as Tekkenismyworld. Some of you already know me here and on YouTube. I do football vids, not just football vids, but Tekken vids as well. Do gameplay stuff, funny stuff, all that. You won't see me talk that much because I kind of suck at trying to keep up a conversation sometimes. But yeah, I live around Texas. I'm more into Houston, and that's just me.
All right, cool. So right now we're at the first subject that Courtney brought up. One is that casuals need to play more at tournaments. Why do you think that way, Courtney?
Well, I've basically been looking around at FGC and seeing that a lot of the numbers for Tekken hasn't been as big. A big reason for that right now is because we're in a transitioning phase from Tekken Tag Tournament 2, which a lot of people are getting tired of at this point. And we're waiting on Tekken 7. Like, we need a game for our scene. I pretty much understand what the reason behind that is. And I myself, I wouldn't say I'm a casual. I'm a very competitive player. I get into the game, try to get better at the game, and level myself up. But I myself haven't really attended a tournament just yet. But I do plan to. Like, this year, I'm going to Evo. That'll be my very first tournament.
I would love to go to Evo myself, but I just need the time and the money.
Yeah, I really want to start going to tournaments, start competing, start meeting the players in the FGC. It really interests me. And I want our community just in general just to get bigger. The more people that show up, the more attention that get brought to our game. But for me personally, I don't really feel worthy for my opinion because I'm not like really a tournament goer. I don't really know exactly how it works, to be honest. I have a very good idea because I look into it and I keep up with the scene like almost every day, but like I'm not actually there in person. So my opinion isn't really might not be a lot of people might not agree with. So just in general, I think a lot more casual players should start showing up. We need more people to start motivating people in the Tekken scene to start coming in. Like, we need like a Mike Ross or like a Gutex of Tekken, like they get people into the scene, like they get casual players to come in. Like, they just go in just because they know who, like in Street Fighter, they go in just because they know who Gutex and Mike Ross is. Like, I know who they are. Like, they're like big names. They're like enthusiastic, We do have Aris, Rip, and Rickster, like for Tekken, but we need like a lot more people to like get more people into the game.
So you think the faces of Tekken, all the people that you mentioned, they help people to sort of get into the scene however they can get into it, is what you're saying?
Exactly. I've been had this conversation with a friend yesterday, actually. Shout outs to Prince. I know you're going to be watching this.
I don't think specifically there's only, one way to skin a cat. I think, particularly for Tekken, I think Tekken needs whatever exposure that it's going to get. For example, me, I've never been to a tournament myself, and by no means do I call myself a tournament level player. I don't even call myself a good player. I call myself I call myself a good player, but I don't boast about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can beat any mother who tries to, just jump on Tekken for the first time. Anybody can do that, obviously. But, I put up a good fight. You know what I'm saying? So my rank can say that, but then people say, rank means nothing. Of course it means something, obviously, because everybody would be a Tekken god if it meant nothing. But all I'm saying is, essentially, because we have not only people that are actually going to the tournaments, but you also have people that make these videos, and then you have the people that kind of do both, and the people that actually are working for Tekken, like Markman. Markman just started working for Tekken because he left Mad Catz, right?
Right. He was working for Tekken before then.
Yeah, but now he's like officially on their payroll now.
Like
He's actually getting a paycheck with Harada's name on it.
Oh, interesting.
He got the shirts and everything. He got the shirts with Nike. That's kind of cool.
Yeah. So, we have all of these people and their names attached to them, actually making a way for new people and the people that are already into Tekken but don't, speak up or actually do anything to really help their community get along. Because, look at the Call of Duty community. Call of Duty, no matter how bad it is, first of all, it's doing really bad right now because a lot of people are going like, hey, Call of Duty trailer looks really terrible, and it has the most dislikes ever on a video game video right now.
And they're going to war with Battlefield 1 right now.
And now Battlefield is actually going to be like the biggest video with the most likes for a video game trailer now.
Yeah,
so I think that's really interesting.
On Twitter, declare war on Call of Duty. They literally declare war on. That's the first time I've ever seen that in a video.
They did.
They declare war.
But you know what made it matter? It was the fans.
Exactly.
It was people speaking up about it, and because they could play the game and they can, share their opinions, and they have their YouTube channels and they have their social media, and they actually, I don't know about the COD scene, but I know that there are tournaments and there are people that do go out to them. Though I've seen pictures in comparison, and there are they put like a Dota tournament next to a COD tournament, and it's like the COD tournament is like a bunch of guys sitting in rows of seats, and then like a Dota tournament is a stadium.
Right. Hey, we're gonna have FGC tournaments with state. I think we already did with Evo. Like it's gonna be in a stadium.
Evo?
Yeah. Isn't it going to be like in a FGC stadium or something like that? Like people are going to be like in an arena somewhat,
I thought it was always like one of those big old rented out Vegas rooms or hotel rooms.
Well, it's going to start off like that, but like for finals for a few games, there's going to be like a big stadium for it. I thought you guys heard of that. It's going to be like something big for it. People actually renting out seats. Mr. Wizard, the guy that's running Evo and everything, he said that 80% of the seats are filled for it in that FGC tournament. Yeah, like they already got people already paying for the seats and everything, and for the top 8, watching people in the top 8, people are going to be watching it from the screen. Like they're going to be like an FGC stadium for fighting games. So like that's a big step.
I'm pretty sure it's going to be a really good lineup too. Tekken 7 Faded Retribution, if they have it there.
They announced the tournament, the top 8 thing, like in the stadium, the same day Nina got announced.
Oh,
yeah, that was it. That was it. I remember that. That was the time when Markman came in.
He didn't come in. He broke in.
Yeah, he broke in.
Yeah, he broke in.
Totally realistic in every sense of the word.
He was like, you guys are going to watch something Tekken. I don't care if you guys play 2D fighters or not. You're going to watch them Tekken right now.
I love that whole little shtick. Like, he's like, hold on, I just got a direct message from Harada-san. He says to press up, up, down, down, something, something on the controller. And then it plays the trailer, and I'm like, that is such bullshit.
Like,
but it was still fine. It was fine, because, like, after, the trailer started playing, I totally forgot that everything had just happened.
Nina is the newest character they've announced, and it's been a while since they announced a new character, but just from, like, you see how hyping, you see the build-up they had for the new character, the surprise they had for Nina. They knew exactly what to do to get people hyped as soon as people...
I know, it's been a while.
And it's been a while, but, like, every time it's been, like, notice, like, before they announced Takuma, right? And Faded Retribution, right, the update, like, people were saying the exact same thing. And then we waited, and people have been saying the exact same thing until they announced Nina. And they've been saying the exact same thing until they announced all the new character costumes, and everybody saw that Akuma had a life bar and, like, the graphics, and everybody got to see how the game played and everything like that. So, like, I'm saying that they're going to drop another bomb. Like, I don't know when, but I'm saying they're going to drop another bomb just like that. That's all I have to say about it. Yeah.
You notice they're doing things a lot slower now because we're getting closer and closer to release now. essentially, I feel like because there's less and less news, we must be getting right towards the end where they have no news. Where basically the last news they're going to have is that the game is actually going to be released. So there still might be some more characters, as far as Harada has said. He said there are going to be more characters, hopefully some new ones. I just hope that it's not just, oh, okay, so we got this new character, or oh, this character that you've been waiting for this whole time is in the game, and it's not really that big of a deal.
Notice Shaheen didn't really get a trailer.
Yeah, I know.
Shaheen
I really
never got a trailer.
wonder why he didn't get a trailer. I don't know.
That's like he got announced, and we saw like concepts, and then all of a sudden, hey, we got a new character, Shaheen, and everybody was like, oh, on Twitter, and he never got a trailer. What? Like that's the only new character that didn't get it. No, I think Claudio and Katarina didn't get one either, but that's when the game was first announced.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't really make it a thing until like what was it? March or April of the year where they started releasing it.
Yeah, with Josie and Jin, Double Jin, and Gigas, and Jax, Yoshimitsu, yeah,
and Kazumi too. They were just released her too.
Yeah,
as playable.
But we already knew she was going to be in the game. It wasn't like a surprise.
Yeah, but people were mad because you couldn't play as her.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I was mad because you could play as her.
She's the boss character, man.
Because it's just another Mishima.
Yeah, she's basically like a mix of, like, she has like a mix of some of Kenpachi's moves, stuff like that.
Genpachi.
Yeah, Genpachi.
Nah, see, you've been watching too much anime, all that Bleach. Talking about some Kenpachi.
Here's my gripe.
Kenpachi.
My gripe with Kazumi is her devil form. It looks like a Power Rangers villain.
Her devil form.
I was expecting her. I was expecting her devil form to be like somewhat scary looking, like Kazuya's and Jin's from Blood Vengeance. I wanted to look I was expecting to look something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was expecting that too. I was like, really? What the heck is this?
She looks like a geisha. You know what a geisha is, right?
Yeah.
She looks like a geisha on crack, pretty much. Man.
Yeah, like you would expect like someone's double form to scare the hell out of you, but like if you were fighting Kazumi and she just randomly turned into a devil form, you'll be in awe. You just like want to take a picture or something.
You're like, what you doing? We fighting.
Where you get that makeup from? How did you do that?
Well, speaking of costumes, Nash, the Nash Project, he was talking about how he didn't particularly like Hwoarang's costume that they came out with recently.
I think Hwoarang's, I feel it fits the atmosphere because we can see that Tekken 7 Fated Retribution is supposed to have like a post-apocalyptic theme, and you've seen the trailer, right? So you've seen the trailer, you saw that big old bombing that occurred right in front of Akuma.
Yeah.
Was it bombs? I thought it was like meteors.
I'm thinking that's more Tekken 6. I'm thinking I thought Akuma was looking on the Tekken 6 or something.
Well, yeah, it's something like, Tekken 6 bridging to Tekken 7, you know how that goes. But, I take it that a lot of characters are either injured or killed. And I'm thinking Hwoarang got injured in that attack.
I hope that's not the reason some characters don't show up. They get injured or killed. Like, that'd be kind of like anticlimactic.
Yeah, it better not be.
You know what I mean? It'd be really anticlimactic. You just find out, hey, somebody, I'm not going to ruin it. I'm not going to jinx anything or say so-and-so got killed in the bomb. But you know what I mean? Like if we just say somebody got killed in the bomb, that's why they couldn't be in Tekken 7 or something like that.
I remember this tweet a while ago where Synclair said something about that Hwoarang's eye got injured because of Bruce.
How did it get damaged? Back two?
Back two, yep.
He got an elbow to the eye. He got pushed in.
I have no idea.
Oh man!
No, he was walking up saying hello. He was like, "Hey, how you doing?" Bam, back two.
That was pretty funny though.
Back two into the wall combo, max damage.
Yeah.
Lord.
Maybe because Beto-san owed Bruce some money, and since he didn't get it from him, he decided to take it out of Hwoarang. So.
Oh man! Take this back
And
to.
the costume for Horong is, I think it's kind of silly because he looks kind of like a Castlevania character, really.
He reminds me of. I'm like, I don't know, like for some reason in this podcast I'm forgetting names and titles for some reason.
That happens.
Yes, that happened. Okay, so I'm not even gonna, like, it was like this anime movie. I think it's called Akira. He reminds me of the Akira.
How do you forget the name Akira?
Tetsuo and Kaneda.
That's what it's called. Is that what it's
how do
called?
you forget that name?
It's
man?
called
Come on.
Akira.
It's called Akira.
It's freaking Akira. Okay, first
That's what
hold
it's
up.
called. It's called Akira.
I have to say this. I have to say this. If you even like anime a little. Before we started this podcast, he talked to us about so much about how he liked anime and that he think he's too old for it or whatever. But son, if you even remotely like anime, two things you need to know about. You need to know about 1, Dragon Ball Z.
Oh yeah.
2, Akira. Okay.
I know, man. I know.
Actually, I'll put Akira
Dragon
first.
Ball
Akira
Z.
came out in the 80s. I mean,
Yeah,
originally.
but
Maybe even Yu-Gi-Oh too.
Yeah,
Maybe
but
Yu-Gi-Oh.
what I'm saying is Akira is like one of those movies that made a whole bunch of other concepts possible, like The Matrix, for example.
all right, so with me, my opinion on Horong's costume is that I really don't have a problem with it. Mostly because I don't play Horong. I know like a lot of Horong players might be mad. I didn't initially agree with it when I saw the screenshots. I literally thought it was a new character. Like when I saw him on the bike, just looking upwards with the
I
eye
thought that
patch
was
and
Claudio
and the
at
hair,
first.
he looked like a completely different character. Like he looked even younger. Like in that bird, he looks way younger. Like he was like 16 years old. Like
They're trying to make them look more anime, I guess.
Yeah.
yeah. Like the way the colors of the costume pop, especially the jacket when he's doing combos, when he's doing like a up 3, 4 or something like that. His combo, that starts his combo starter when he's doing, like when I saw that, like I thought, like man, like the detail on that is so clean. Like how could you not like how the detail looks on that? I mean, actually, design itself might be terrible, but the way it looks when it's moving is so damn cool. Like you cannot deny that.
I think all of the costumes are appropriate, but I don't think that one is appropriate at all unless it really, really is story-driven, because if that's just, oh, this is what I look like now, then that just makes no sense for the
that
character.
makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, Brian, he has like the face mask and the jacket. That looks appropriate. Xiao Yu, she has her full dress or whatever. Then Asuka, she has her school outfit on. I mean, everybody looks
No,
fine.
UPS uniform. Asuka works for UPS now.
Yeah.
She might. She might be.
Oh, he got a job.
I mean, she looks fine. You know, Leo, Leo looks fine. And who was the other one I'm forgetting?
Devil Jin, that old chains thing.
Yeah, that thing. I mean, that's appropriate because, you know, he's a demon. So, I mean, chains are just kind of go hand in hand with being a demon.
Well, not just change. I mean, like the
King's got this new cape as well. It's pretty cool.
Well, he's a wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
Luchador. So everything is fine, but I don't know why Horong had to get this special treatment where he's like, this is who I am now. Put some respect on it.
I think it's more like a Mad Max type of deal, you know? You haven't noticed, you know, Nina Williams, her wedding dress is raggedy. So Brian Fury has his, what you call No Church in the Wild. Who's seen that video, by the way? Who remembers that video with Kanye West and Jay-Z, No Church in the Wild?
Never seen it.
I
remembers
haven't
that?
seen it.
Oh, if you've seen anything that's post-apocalyptic, that's exactly what Brian Fury reminds me of.
So what we're driving at is probably that the costumes that they have are probably directly correspondent with what's happening in that Akuma trailer with the bombs falling and whatnot.
Probably
Exactly.
not directly corresponding.
Yeah, I can see that too.
But it has something to do with it, in my opinion. I don't think it's direct.
I mean, not everyone was probably in that city at that particular time, but because the bombs fell, some of the characters, you know, costumes are directly influenced like by this because, you know, Nina's wearing that dress and it's kind of torn up and ripped up and everything. Looks like she's been in an explosion,
Right.
you know. And then you have Horong. I mean, maybe because it's post-apocalyptic, you know, what do you think of when you get into that? Like someone said Mad Max earlier, so maybe now he's just badass and someone stuck him in the eye because post-apocalyptia, you know.
Right. All right. I have a question. Who do you guys think might come back?
You already know my answer.
Oh, snap. Capos. Okay,
I
okay.
definitely
I got
want Eddie
okay.
Gordo back.
Who do you guys think will come back? And who do you guys most want to come back?
You already know me. I want Bruce Irvin back. I want the Nightmare Impact back.
Yeah, see, you can't really ask this question without us being selfish.
I mean, hey,
I think-
that's the point of the question.
I think some of you guys should already know who I want back, but
Who do you think is coming back?
probably Anna or maybe Lee or Lei. That's who I'm thinking.
I like to see the Lee Chaolan back. I like to see him.
Lee Long is a cool character. He's real unique, and
I want him back, but I don't think he is. Just because I don't think he properly fits into the stuff that's actually happening.
I think gameplay wise, he would fit.
Yeah.
Like literally, like Lee's combos and the way he'd fit into the game would be a lot easier to transition into. You know what I mean? Like the way his combos work, or like really easy, like to change up and make it to where like the screw attack will work out better with him.
You know, Lee was actually my original main. When I first started playing Tekken 2, Lee was my original.
Lee was your original. So you Bruce Lee.
He was my original main because you know that low kick he has, you know, with the down what do you call the down 4-4.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I used to spam that move, man. And of course, later on, I started using Kazuya. Then I used Bruce, and eventually, when I got to Tekken 5, I decided to make Bruce my main, you know, because I became more proficient with him. But I used Lee to carry me throughout the other parts of games in the series. Even though I would use Bruce every once in a while, I would use Kazuya, Heihachi, Eddie Gordo. Eddie Gordo, I actually retconned him as my Tekken 4 main, actually. Pretty smooth. I mean, it's him and Lee. But yeah, I mean, yeah.
I used to not like Capos, but once I learned how to fight against Capos, I had respect for them once.
They have names. Put some respect on it.
I don't really use Capos that much, but I do. I don't really use Capos that much, but Eddie is kind of cool though.
That's all you got to say about it. Eddie is kind of cool though.
You know, I have to say my favorite move, like, it's when you go like press forward, you circle all the way back, and I think it's you can do that equals forward, back, and it's 1-2 at the same time, and he does that like that spit. He does that Hurricanrana Rey Mysterio type of deal. You know what I'm talking about, right?
That's a command grab.
I think Eddie might come back. He's like an iconic character, just like a regular casual on the street. If you would just come into a casual on the street that knew something about tech, and you were to ask them about some of the characters that they like, they'd probably mention Eddie. Like that's like a memorable character that a lot of people think about when they think back. And like Tekken 3 is usually like the main point where most people that don't really play fighting games think about. But with me, what I think is coming back, like story-wise, and I'm gonna tell you why in a second, is Michelle, June, and Kunimitsu. I say that because all three of them went missing in Tekken 2 for some reason. Like they just went missing. When people go missing for a long time, it ends up being for like some type of legit reason. Nobody really noticed Michelle. Everybody always mentioned June.
I always thought she died.
Well, Michelle was in Julia's Tekken 3 ending.
Michelle was in Heihachi's Tekken 3 ending, really?
No. Julia's Tekken 3 ending. If you beat the game with Julia, Michelle shows up and they're talking. They're having a dialogue.
It was the only one that was voice acted.
Yeah.
Oh, she shows up. Okay.
Basically, like all the Tekken endings are, you know, possibilities. So in the case...
So it might not have been canon?
Well, it definitely isn't canon because it didn't happen. In the case that Julia wins the tournament and beats Ogre, that scene is what occurs. So even though it does not happen, it is the possibility that it happens if she wins. Of course, that doesn't happen, but if she wins, Michelle's right there. You know what I'm saying? So, but because it's not canon, because it didn't happen, there's still the possibility that she really was never going to be there. You know what I'm saying?
And the thing is, when Tekken 3 came around, I actually thought Bruce was dead, because if you read Lei Wulong's bio for Tekken 3, it said that Bruce died in a plane crash.
I have to look that up now. I'm legitimately curious.
They killed him off and then they brought him back.
Well,
he lost his memory in Tekken 3. And that's why he came back and he started working for Kazuya, because he didn't know who he was.
Gotcha.
It's like they tell you that somebody's dead, but in the next game, and they can always bring a character back.
Yeah.
But
Kind of like what they're doing now.
It's as if Bruce likes working for Kazuya. Now, I mean, have you seen Bruce's Tekken 5 cutscene with Kazuya? Where he's like, unlike 20 years ago, there's no difference between us now. You're a child. Like,
Well, speaking of people getting their characters or not getting their characters, it brings us into the next subject. People were losing their interest in Tekken for a while, up until the point where they announced Fated Retribution in December. If people don't necessarily get their characters when the game comes out, do you think they might lose their interest again?
My opinion is really reminiscent of what Eric said. I remember him saying something about this at Final Round to Michael Murray. Like when it drops, like the people that are complaining and like saying that they're tired of it, they're gonna get it first. I don't think there's too much of an issue there. It's not gonna be like an issue in sales. I mean, that's all they care about. Namco really cares about right now, and they of course care about us. Like trying to bring this to tournaments. And
So
stuff.
what you're saying is, as much as Sinclair complains to Harada about different things, he's gonna be the first one in line at GameStop.
Sinclair, the fact that Sinclair is here in the first place means that he's gonna get that game. He wants the characters to be in the game, but he won't care when he gets the game in his hand. When he gets the game in his hand, I already can see him like posting all pictures and selfies with him in the box case on Twitter. Like I already see it, man.
Sinclair's gonna be at GameStop on the midnight release, and he's gonna bribe the guy with $20 to give him the game early, like at 11:45, and then
He's
drive
gonna
home.
in front of people in line and stuff.
He's gonna drive home, get on Instagram or something and Twitter, and just start posting, "Hey, I got Tekken 7 early."
Okay. Sinclair, I got a question for you though. Like, okay,
Yeah,
so
sure.
if Bruce, I mean, not to say that he isn't going to be in the game or any other character that you play with isn't going to be in Tekken 7, and you do end up getting it, who is going to be your main? That you see right now. Let's say if he doesn't make it in the game.
Oh, well, just like like I have Tekken 4, and there's no Bruce in there, so if anything, I'll make Eddie Gordo my main, just like I did with Tekken 4. Because it's like this. If you like pay attention to the story, like you know how you have the Tekken 2 generation, Tekken 3 generation.
Yeah.
But you know how Jin is the Tekken 3 generation of Kazuya.
Right.
Well, in a way, I mean, position-wise, even though they have completely different fighting styles, you'll notice that Eddie Gordo and Bruce kind of look a little similar. In fact, Bruce is like Mohawk, how they altered his Mohawk in Tekken 5, because you notice in Tekken 2, he doesn't have the dreadlocks in the back. Yeah,
Right.
like perm or something. But he has dreadlocks in the back in Tekken 5 and going on to Tekken 6 and Tekken Tag Tournament 2. And I'm thinking they kind of based that somewhat based on Eddie Gordo. And it's not, and yeah, they have two completely different fighting styles. But I mean, you notice that their personalities are actually similar. They're Bruce to Jin, what Bruce is to Kazuya. So it's like I kind of see Eddie as somewhat of a semi-successor to him in a sense, even though he has a completely different fighting style. You know what I mean?
Okay.
That's fair. London, do you have your favorite Tekken character in Tekken 7? Or?
Oh, and he's already in though. It's Kazuya. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, he's
I
already
did
in
like
the
you
game.
got short. You good? Well, both of my characters are in the game. I got
I'm just
Martial
waiting.
Law and Steve.
I'm just
Yeah.
waiting for Raven and June. I think that's it.
Yeah, I mean, I have Law. I'm just waiting on Eddie, because those are my mains. But, if I don't get Eddie, then obviously I'm going to have to train more with Law. People were saying that because Lucky Chloe's in the game, that's going to be my new Eddie. No, it's not.
Hell no.
Said that.
Oh hell no, man.
No, that's just not the truth. They are completely different worlds.
They're out of their minds if they say that.
They have similar moves, but they are not the same moveset.
Now, the thing about Joyce the Resolve, I mean, I noticed that she doesn't have Bruce's back tune, and she doesn't have the move of Bruce, which caused my real interest in him in the first place, is what I like to dub the Bruce Ryukin. You know, the shorter Ryukin type uppercut Bruce has?
Yeah.
Yeah. Josie Resolve doesn't have those.
Yeah, but Josie, like, she's almost. I mean, even though she's like she has the same fighting style, she has a lot of the same moves as Bruce. Like, she looks like Bruce, like when she fights and stuff. Like, her meta and like a lot of the stuff that she does, like, is completely different. Like, you're not gonna play her. Not gonna hop in like as a Bruce player and start playing Josie.
Right.
Like she is like completely, she's her own character. Like that's amazing how they did that. Like they literally gave her some of the same moves of this like of a character and literally made her gameplay completely different. Like that is like I don't even know how that works, but it just that's just how it is when you playing that.
Yeah. Well, if
That
you ask me, I think Josie reminds me more of Sakura from Street Fighter. That's who she
You remind
reminds
me
me
of
of.
Snow White,
Snow White.
The way
man.
the way she
What?
fights, though, not her appearance.
Josie?
Yeah.
No, I was talking about like about London. You said Snow White. What?
I mean, look
Snow
at
White.
the color. You know what I
Snow
mean?
White. I said Sakura Street Fighter.
No, Sinclair said Snow White,
Oh.
and I have no idea why.
I have no idea either. Like, you're
I have
alone
no
on that one,
You
idea.
know
man.
what I mean? If you look at a picture of Snow White and take a picture, you'll see what I'm talking about. Only difference is like,
What?
Oh,
Is it her
I
hair?
see.
What?
I
Is it her
see.
hair? Like, what's
Okay.
her hairstyle or
I
something?
see.
What's-
Maybe it's the
to
clothes.
be honest,
I don't know.
Katarina. I mean, I like Katarina's style. To be honest with you, I mean,
Carolina?
I might end up picking her up. You know, if Bruce or Eddie don't make it. You know what I mean? She's like worst case scenario.
Who do you think won Tekken 6? With the knowledge that you have about Tekken 7, which I know for everyone is very little.
It is like, I mean, going through the scenario campaign in Tekken 6 and Lars being the main character of Tekken 6, basically, and he pretty much beat all the Mishima's ass in Tekken 6. I mean, he kind of came to like a draw with Jin at the end, and Jin ended up going missing and whatever. I think technically Lars, like, because he fought everybody and beat him. Like, he went around like the whole globe and fought everybody and beat him. Like, well, how could he not be like the winner of Tekken 6? You know, and he probably didn't really try to take over the company because like there's like a war going on. But I mean, technically Lars won Tekken 6.
Mm.
In my opinion, Kazuya.
Kazuya.
Why Kazuya?
Well, I mean, the fact that he has I know he's had it since Tekken Tag Tournament 1, but it's like, I mean, I feel that the long coat that he has, that Jin wore, I mean, it's somewhat symbolic. Is that, you know, Jin has fallen from power. I've got the power now. You know, that's the way I see it, and I feel it's Kazuya because Kazuya has never won a tournament since Tekken 1. I kind of feel it's Kazuya's time again. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he was doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes.
Yeah.
I think, in my opinion, it's either Kazuya or Lars. It's really hard to choose, though. But I'm not really a big fan of scenario campaign. If you ask me, it's just
I'm not either.
It's really getting on my nerves.
I'm not either, but I really like all the cutscenes.
I like
just
the fighting cutscenes, man.
it just ticked me off a whole lot, and so did the game too. But yeah, I think what Kazuya is gonna do next is probably still take over the G Corporation. I'm not so sure about the Mishima Zaibatsu. It might be either him, Kazumi, or Heihachi that's taking over Zaibatsu. It's not gonna be Jin because he's obviously wearing that costume. You see,
He got what he wanted out of the Mishima Zaibatsu. He wanted to lure out Azazel or however you pronounce his name. He wanted to lure him out, and once he killed him,
Azazel.
I think about it this way. I mean, I don't truly know who exactly won, but I think it probably has to be a Mishima or Kazama character because, well, these are the guys who were directly involved with it and everything. Or Lars, of course. But in terms of, you know, who won, I don't think there was a definite winner. I think because everything was so hectic and the world was being destroyed and the war was being waged over everything and the temple fell down and people flew away in planes and all this nonsense. Jin, he was the person to start all of this war nonsense in the first place, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well then he, you know, pulls a Gandalf and fights Azazel down the hole, pops up on the other side in the sand where Raven finds him, and we don't know what happens after that, but I assume he resuscitated because he's in Tekken 7, you know what I mean? So did he just continue the war and nothing really changed? Or, you know, because the same reason, like in one of the endings, Heihachi is, you know, knocked out. You know, for Heihachi in this game or anyone else in this game dying, it's just a minor inconvenience at best. You know, did Heihachi just take control because there was nobody else to contest him, or did Kazuya do the same thing? Nobody really knows, but for some reason war is still being waged, and now we're in this post-apocalyptic situation, you know what I mean? So it has to be one of those guys.
And it's like a multi-layered plot too. Like, this plot is ridiculous, but with this new plot coming up with Akuma going after Heihachi and possibly Claudio, with him having like exorcist powers, maybe he might try to go after Jin or something, like try to attack Jin in his double gene or something.
Yeah, well, that's a very good transition into the last topic, is the Mishima feud. How do you guys think Akuma fits into this whole Mishima feud? Because apparently it's going to end, and Akuma is just now being introduced for no apparent reason that we can guess. I mean, I have my theories on it and whatnot. I made several videos about it, but I don't know. How do you think it's going to end?
Well, apparently they're going to try to figure out a way to like fuse together like the transition, all this into Tekken X Street Fighter, and try to say it's in the same universe, but I think it's something different. Maybe Akuma has some type of power, like to like, you know, like kind of like they do like in the Marvel and the DC universe, to like hop between universes or something like this, and he does this on a regular basis with his special power with the Dark Hado or something like that. And while he was in the Tekken universe, he met Kazumi and something happened. Maybe Kazumi saved his life. Maybe they ended up being in the draw and like he owed her like something or something like that. But he ended up going back to the Tekken universe like somehow and like challenging Heihachi or something. I have absolutely no idea how they're going to do this.
Synclair?
Honestly, what I think, Akuma's objectives are clear, that he's going to at least attempt to wipe out the Mishans. I think he's actually going to kill Heihachi, to be honest with you. And I think with Kazuya and Jin, I'm thinking either Kazuya's going to get killed too, or Kazuya and Jin are going to end up finally joining forces.
I think, man, like, all I know, regardless of what happens, is that I would be extremely disappointed if they don't do the Akuma versus Heihachi cutscene any justice when they're fighting. Like, if they do that justice, like, I mean, say we're, like, doing, like, playing through the story mode or whatever, and we ended up being on either side, however they ended up doing the story mode, like, if you're going through perspective or if it's just going straight ahead, kind of like Mortal Kombat did it, and you ended up winning the fight or winning the round and, like, a cutscene happened. They need to show us, like, the fight, like, something like how they are actually fighting in the cutscene, like, kind of like
definitely.
Very similar to how whoever did the Bloodline, that would be like the toughest thing, like in the dopest thing I will ever see. Like Akuma versus Heihachi. You know how sick that would look? Like, come on now.
What disappointed me was the fact that they made Heihachi old again.
What I'm gonna say about Akuma is, I think what they're mainly gonna do is they're trying to like test out this Street Fighter cross Tekken thing, but I have no idea what they're going to do with Akuma here. I have a feeling that he might just go after Heihachi, and I don't know if they're going to kill him off, but he might. In my opinion, Heihachi, out of all the Mishimas, Heihachi is most likely the one to die. I don't know if they're going to kill off Kazuya because he's pretty popular and stuff, but and neither is Jin. In my opinion, Jin's the main character. Some people are going to disagree with me, but that's just my opinion and stuff. But yeah, I'm not so sure what they're going to do with Akuma.
I'm usually the guy that will make up the most out there kind of claims that something may have happened or something might happen, and that's my job. I make theories. What I came up with while I was kind of going through this in my head a while back was, one, they said Kazuya's mother was dead. Who cares, because everyone died at some point and came back, so I'm not really impressed. But through what means did that happen? Why does Akuma have something to do with it? Obviously, they have some history with one another. Well, I presented this theory about portals, and I did it a couple of times with Tekken Cross Street Fighter and Akuma, but basically the idea is that the only way Akuma is here, and perhaps that the Tekken universe and the Street Fighter universe are not connected, is that Akuma stepped through a portal, kind of like he did in, what is the game called, Asura's Wrath, where he fights the main character, I believe that's Asura, I'm not sure, and they just have this endless battle that goes on for all time, apparently, because at the end of their fight they turn into stone. But anyway, if he can show up in another game just like that, and there's no explanation, what's stopping him from showing up in Tekken 7, you know? And if he can just step through portals like this, I mean, it probably transcends time as well as space, you know? So what if he went to the point where Kazumi died or was getting ready to die, he stepped back through the portal and came to the point or time that Tekken 7 happens, and now he's back again, and now, I don't know, but that was the basic idea I came up with.
That's exactly what I think, because like as far as comic books go, that's the logic that they do, like when they actually try to merge universes and stuff like that, like as far as like they try to go through portals, interdimensional portals. It has something to do with like Akuma's powers or something like that. Like he can do something to go through portals. Like I was thinking about Azura's Wrath too. This guy, he just hops through universes like it's nothing. He does it regularly just to fight people. That's all he cares about, just to fight interdimensional beings.
Yeah, and he had quite a big part in Street Fighter Cross Tekken, and so that probably has something, or is another example of it, is what I'm saying.
I'm thinking Ancient Ogre might come back. That might be out there, but I think he might come back in the game.
I only know Ogre by two names, Ogre and True Ogre. I don't know what all this Ancient Ogre crap is about, because I don't even know who that is anymore. I go by Tekken 3 names.
Yeah, same here, man.
Might be DLC or something, but like maybe he might have some interest in the plot. It's already a lot that can go on anyway.
Well, we did see Ogre going into the Pandora's box and flying off into space. And I essentially had the theory that maybe because that was a completely different game and that we're probably dealing with not only space but time, he went to a different time in Tekken. I'd say probably Tekken 3 to join that storyline where he could be dug up, or, you know, maybe he went sometime earlier so he could be dug up and whatever, and then that's why in Dragunov's Tekken 5 ending, he's in that tube. I'm saying that's him in the tube because nobody knows who's in the tube.
Exactly.
But again, we have multiple theories everywhere. I have them up and down. But I think you may be right because if this is the end of the Mishima feud, wouldn't we have all of the relevant characters who have ever had anything to do with the Mishima and Kazama story?
Well, because remember, each line is an adopted Mishima. Each line is a Mishima by adoption.
Yeah, but nobody cares about Lee.
Nobody really cares about Lee, but like, there's a lot of people that like Lee, man. Like,
he had one purpose. Heihachi needed him to be in his life for the sole purpose of making Kazuya jealous and to make him strong. Once that happened, he didn't need him anymore, and he kicked him to the curb, and now he's gay.
I don't know if I would say gay, but he's maybe.
Well, Tekken 4, I totally thought he was gay, but yeah, I get it now. It's just a persona.
It's like extremely flamboyant.
That's what I was about to say.
He is a ladies' man. Like this guy's a ladies' man.
He definitely is. Just like Benny Morrow from King of Fighters.
Yeah, but also that's not even canon because it's just the tag game.
Yeah, but I mean, it does like represent his personality overall. I mean.
Well, you know, it was in Tekken 4, so technically it is canon, but he stopped doing that.
When combat malfunctioned and Lee had to fight him, remember that ending?
Yeah.
Yeah.
that was hilarious. I mean, I always thought Lee is somewhat, cool though. Despite him being somewhat, as you guys said, flamboyant. You know what I mean? But as far as like the Mishima family is concerned, I just find that jacked up that Kazumi wanted Kazuya dead as well. So it's like, can you imagine? I mean, as Kazuya, both of your parents wanting you dead.
Oh man,
they all want each other dead.
Yeah.
Let's just get that clear. None of them like each other.
And apparently, like if you look at Jinpachi, he's been fighting family members too. I remember when Jin approached Jinpachi mentioned something about the long line of the Mishima clan constantly fighting, and like him wanted to end it or something like that. Jinpachi wanted to stop the fighting between the Mishimas or something like that, and this has been happening with Jinpachi as well. Jinpachi's been fighting his son. Apparently, Jinpachi's been fighting like a brother or like a older like Mishimas have always been fighting each other and trying to kill each other. So it's nothing.
Oh, you know them stories of them Japanese people. All they do is fight over bloodlines and land.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Oh.
What's not ironic is that the Mishimas get along better with like non-Mishima characters like Outsider. Because, I mean, you can't deny that there's at least somewhat of camaraderie between Bruce and Kazuya. I mean, even though, there may be a little rivalry between the two, like, they try to outdo each other as well. But I mean, there is like a level of respect there because if you look at Bruce's cutscene when he goes up to Kazuya, Kazuya's like, Bruce, kana sashiburi da na. I mean, like it's been a long time, you know.
Bless you.
So it's like, and Kazuya is like he's not the type to really show emotion. So I mean, but if he's glad to see somebody, he'll just like you won't know it. You know what I mean? He's like that callous. You know what I mean? Even though on the inside, yeah, he's happy to see Bruce. On the outside, he won't show it.
Yeah, that's the case a lot with those characters. Like they don't really show like any real positive emotions because they think of it as like a being a weakness. They think it's
Well, I
being
mean,
weak.
Bruce did try to hit on Christy Montero. If you look at Christy Montero's Tekken 5 cutscene,
Oh, really?
yeah, he's
I
like,
remember that too. Yeah.
Speaking of Tekken 5 cutscenes, I think Asuka might be might be Jin more so Jin's sister than cousin. So all of a sudden June went missing, and like in Asuka's Tekken 5 ending when she walked up to where after she somewhat defeated Jinpai, even though it isn't canon. Like when she touched Jin, she somehow deactivated Jin's devil mode the same way June does.
well,
Did you guys see that? She deactivated.
I never thought of it that way. I thought just because anybody was there, you know, that it deactivated just for the sake of the scene.
Yeah, like he saw like something radiating from her hand as soon as she touched Jin's shoulder when he was knocked out in devil mode, and she deactivated the devil mode. She didn't notice
that
it because
is
she was
really
looking away.
interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't notice it either.
Maybe someone
like some type of
And I've edited the footage. I haven't even noticed that specifically her as a Kazama, that she actually did that, not just because she was somebody, but because she was her, a Kazama.
Yeah, so I think she might have a lot to do with it. Like she might have the power to get rid of the devil gene.
I put the Kazama bloodline period. I mean, but like if you play a scenario campaign, you find out. I mean, Asuka is the daughter of June's brother.
She's the daughter of June's brother, but who
Yes,
is her
June
yeah,
has a brother.
she is,
His daughter's Asuka. Yeah.
maybe someone from
Is that
Oscar.
exactly what it said? All I remember is that her knowing that she was a relative to June. She was a relative. That's all I remember.
Yeah, that's what it is. Basically, the way it's written in the wiki, basically they just call him Mr. Kazama, and he is, I want to say, brother to June, and his daughter is Asuka. Well, he's only seen in the comics.
Which is non-canon.
Right.
Yeah.
It's the only imagery we have of him to say what he looks like. You know, Nina's father only appears in a non-canon game, but that's all we got of it, so that's what we think of him as.
If you really think about it, like when Asuka first got announced in Tekken 5, like she didn't really have like a real purpose to be in the like most of the characters really like have a serious purpose in the story, even though it might be some type of comic relief, but they have something to do with the story. But Asuka didn't really have anything to do with it other than to go after Fang. But you know, that was it. But like when you saw her Tekken 5 ending, you saw that like even though it wasn't canon, like it's a possibility, like you said earlier with Michelle and Julia's ending. When she touched Jin shoulder like that, like this is recent. I saw this recently, and I looked at it like she touched his shoulder and like it activated the gene just like June did. Like she had something to do with that. She has special powers.
Yeah.
Well, there you have it. Asuka is going to save everyone. She's going to touch people.
Yeah.
She's going to touch people on the shoulder, and that's going to end the Mishima feud right there. There's just going to be no Devil Gene ever again.
It might be possible that Asuka is June's daughter, but it could be also a possibility that Asuka's ancestors might have that angel power as well. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, don't ruin the Tekken theory and lore.
Oh,
We're talking too much about it. No, go ahead.
But that's what I'm saying.
Okay. Well, I think that's a good place to stop. I think we talked about everything. We're running really close to an hour. Why don't you guys shout out your channels or your Twitters or whatever you got? Go ahead.
All right, so I'm Courtney Emmerich, like I said again, and if you want to hit me up or like see what I'm posting, I'm LA Cosmic on Twitter. So I mean, I'm always posting stuff about Tekken. Like I'm like, this is like a Tekken centric Twitter that I have. So like, I mean, if you want to talk about Tekken, if you want to like message me because my messages are open, you can always do that. Remember, it's LA Cosmic.
All right, and me, I'm Synclair West. That's SYNCLAIR West, like Kanye, but no relation. You can find me on Twitter at Synclair West. Hit me up on there. I'm also on Facebook. Google me. You know, I'll pop up all over the place.
All right. I'm London Thorvet here. My Twitter is Tekkenismyworld. I don't really do a lot of stuff on Twitter. All I do is just post opinions and react to certain things. And my YouTube is, again, Tekkenismyworld. All I do is just talk about sports, do gameplays, Tekken, all that stuff. I do a lot of random stuff. If you're interested into sports here, I'm a pretty good channel here. I don't think I'll disappoint. My Instagram is Dragwire1995. That's it.
Okay, well, I thank all of you guys for coming on, and, you know, I was expecting more people to come in, but you guys, thank you for spending this time with me, coming on to the show. I really appreciate all of you.
No problem, Op.
No problem.
All right, man.
Okay, and you're probably going to have to cover your ears in a second because I'm doing my outro. And so, guys, if you enjoyed this video, leave a comment below. Tell me if you want me to do more. Maybe I'll try and make it shorter next time. Maybe less people, maybe more people. You never know. So, guys, remember that you cannot kill an idea. And I'll see you guys next time. Wow!
Never thought I'd hear that live.
Nice, man.
We'll do it live.
Do it live. Do it live. We can follow there. Do it live.